Shalom, Shalom Israel. This is No Saint Left Behind once again. I'm Brother Zahar coming back at you with another lesson today. I pray that it be edifying. First, I just want to start out with saying, first I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rikar Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the Akims out there that's steadfast in His word, that's rehearsing these laws, statutes, commandments to the best of their ability, and that's building their faith daily in Yahweh Shai, the Hamashiach, our Savior, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ. All right, today's lesson is going to be about who are the fallen angels. People are stuck in that Greek mythology where they say that, Satan was cast out of heaven, him and one-third of the angels or something like that. So, that's all Greek mythology. So we want to get into today, who are these fallen angels? Who are these angels that the Most High Yahweh is talking about that was cast into outer darkness, cast into the chains of darkness, man. So we're going to get into that today, and let's come up with a solution of, an answer to who are these angels, man. I pray that, this lesson be edified through Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And I'm going to start out in the book of Jude, but I'm going to start at verse 1 in the book of Jude. Jude 1, that's after the book of 3 John. So it's Jude chapter 1, it's only one chapter. And it says, Jude, the servant of Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, the brother of James, to them that are sanctified by Yahweh the Father and preserved in Yahweh Shai Hamashiach and called. So Jude is letting you know that this book is written to those who are sanctified in Yahweh Shai. And sanctified means what? It means to those who are set apart. And so who was set apart? What nobody set apart but the Israelites, which are you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. These are the people right here that was sanctified. These are the saints. Nobody else was sanctified. Nobody else was set apart. Because the Most High Yahweh only chose who? The 12 tribes of Israel, through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Jacob's descendants, which are the 12 tribes. So this book is written to the Israelites, to those who are sanctified by Yahweh the Father, which means those who was given to Yahweh Shai. And Jude and James, these are the brothers of Yahweh Shai, who he ignorantly called Jesus. Now, Jude and James are his brothers. These are the two brothers that followed him. Yahweh Shai had other brothers and sisters, but James and Jude follow Yahweh Shai. Verse 2, mercy unto you and peace and love be multiplied. All right. Now we're going to go to verse 3. Beloved, when I gave all diligence to write unto you of the common salvation, because this is what they had in common. Salvation through who? Yahweh Shai. Salvation is given to those who are doing to the end. So as long as they stand still in this thing and endure to the end, they get that deliverance, that salvation. That means to be delivered from your enemy. It says, it was needed for me to write unto you and exhort you that ye should earnestly contend for the faith which was once delivered unto the saints. He said that you contend unto the faith which was once delivered unto the saints. All right. So who was the faith given unto? So who are the saints? So we got to find out who was this faith given to. And when he mean by contend, that means by, don't be letting nobody go around and just say stupid things. You got to contend. You got to let them know. Now, this is what the words say. Like what the Christian church is saying. The Christian church is saying what? Angels fell out of heaven into earth and put into the chains of darkness. Satan was shot out of heaven into earth and put into the chains of darkness. But we all know that's Greek mythology. Those angels that fell were the believers at that time, was the sons of God, which today we call Israel, which is Yashaelah, princes of power, or, sons of the power. The same thing, sons of God, that means power, Elohim, sons of the messenger. So we got to get into that, let you know that who are the saints. And so we got to find out who this faith was given to. this word. When he's talking about this faith, it's talking about this word. So all you got to do is we'll go to Psalms 147. Psalms 147. Matter of fact, it turned right there. Psalms 147 and 19. It says, he showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. So the Bible's letting us know that he showed his word unto Jacob. Jacob is the father of Israel, of the 12 tribes. And Jacob's name was later turned to what? Israel. And his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Verse 20. He had not dealt so with any nation. So, and it says, he have not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgment, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh. So the Most High said that he haven't dealt. He said he haven't dealt so with any nation. So he haven't dealt with none of these nations. He only dealt with the top nation that's written in gold or yellow, which is Yashar'el, Israel, which are you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So we know that the Most High ain't dealt with no other nation but Israel. So we know who the saints are. He said, I'm going to read that again in Jude 3. It says that it was needed for me to write unto you and exalt you that ye should earnestly contend for the faith which was once delivered unto the saints. So he only gave his word and his statutes unto Israel, man, unto the 12 tribes. So from that understanding, we know that what? Israel are the saints. Give me a second. Let me look something up right quick. So if he gave the faith unto the saints, and we just read in in Psalms 47, 147, 19 and 20, that he showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He, in verse 20, he had not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known him. Praise ye Yahweh. So from just that alone, we know that the saints that he are talking about, who he commended this faith unto, was Israel. And not only that, let me get one more. Hold on, give me a second. Let me see, give me a second. I'm looking up something. Okay, Psalms 148. This is what I was looking for. Psalms 148 and 14. It says, he exalt the horn of his people. So he said he exalt the horn of his people. Who's that horn? That horn is Yahushua, who was crucified for the 12 tribes of Israel. So he exalt the horn of his people, which is who? Israel. And that horn is Yahushua. The praise of all his saints. So he let you know that his saints are his people, which are what? Israel. Even the children of Israel, all people near unto him. Praise ye Yahweh. Let's read that again. Psalms 148 and 14. He also exalt the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints. So let you know that Israel is his people and his saints. Continuing. Even of the children of Israel. So you got to understand in Old English, when it say even, that's saying, that's just saying which is. Even is saying which is, in Old English, words are pronounced and put different, but it doesn't mean that way in that form. So in Old English, even it mean which is the children of Israel, a people near unto him. Praise ye Yahweh. So we understand that Israel is the only people near unto the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. All right, so let's go back to Jude. So we establishing who this book is written to and who the people is. All right, let's go to verse 4. So they want you to think of in spookism. You know what I'm saying? They want you to think in spookism and sci-fi. Like, things can't happen. men can't be angels. The word angel only means messenger, judge, or a power. And we are the judges of the earth. We are the messengers of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You know, a messenger is nothing but a prophet or apostle, one who sent the way. You know, that's what we are here doing. We are here declaring the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. We ask you to repent, to call on the name Yahweh and the son names Yahushua, and come back into what? Your inheritance. You know, and rehearse these law, statutes, commandments, and build your faith in Yahushua. Jude verse 4. For there are certain men that crept in unawares. And so that means when we say there are certain men that crept in unawares, the people have crept in unannounced. You know, that they're not supposed to be among us, who were before of old ordained to this condemnation, ungodly men, turning the grace of our power into lasciviousness and denying the only Yahweh and our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach. And so that is who? That is the Christian church and Islam. You know, that's the people that creeped in among us. That's the people that's denying the Father and the Son. That's the people that's bringing what? Damnation and lasciviousness into the body, into the people of Israel. They telling you can eat all unclean foods. They telling you can divorce your man and be with another man, or the man can divorce his woman and take another man's woman. You know, so they got you worshiping on Sunday, worshiping the sun god. They got you calling on Caesar Borgia, which is Serapis Christos, this white Jesus. They got you calling on Allah. They got you serving stone. They got you taking trips to Mecca. They got you worshiping the cross. So that's these Christian pastors and these Farrakhan's, you know what I'm saying? These Islamic, what they call them, monks, whatever they call them. So that's what this is talking about. The people that crept in among us, unaware. So they teaching false doctrines. Them are the false prophets. All right? So that's letting you know that this is talking about men. This is not talking about nothing spooky, spookism. So this is talking about men. And so we're going to continue on into the text, verse 5. I will therefore put in remembrance, though ye once knew this, how that Yahweh, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believe not. So the Most High said, even though you got people that done creeped in among us, like Christianity, Islam, and all these different religions, he said, all right, now that you in the land of your captivity, he said, and once you start to call on my name, he said, I'm going to put you back in remembrance of who you once was. I'm going to let you know that you was the people that I was delivering out of Egypt. Not these so-called white people, these Edomites, these fake Jews that's over in our land, these Jewish people, these Khazars. He said, I'm going to let you know that you was the people that I delivered from Egypt. I'm going to put you back in remembrance. That's what he's saying. And so we done came back into remembrance that we are the people that was in Egypt, that was in captivity, that was delivered by the Most High through Moses, through the Red Sea into the Promised Land, which was Israel, the land of the Canaanites that the Most High gave unto us, which is the Holy Land, which is Eden, east of Eden. All right, which is the Garden of Eden. That's Israel. And follow me to Jeremiah 17:4. Because he said he's going to put us back into remembrance of who we once were. That we were the people that the Most High delivered out of Egypt. So we're going to go to Jeremiah 17:4 and see why he got to put us back into remembrance. Give me a second. I'm waiting on this thing. All right, Jeremiah 17:4. It says, and thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee. So the heritage that he gave us was passed down from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which was Israel, which was this word, these laws, statutes, and commandments. So we discontinued from that. So that means we forgot that. You know, he put a spirit on us that made us forget that we were the Hebrew Israelites. Made us think that we were the African Americans or the Hispanics, the Mexicans, you know, or the Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? He made us The Most High put a spirit on us that made us believe that we were these people because he took our heritage from us. You know, he took our birthright from us. You know what I'm saying? So that means he turned his face from us. You know, that's what, when David prayed, man, turn not thy face from me, cast me not out your presence. Because that's what he did to us. He turned his face from us and cast us out of his presence, and so we forgot who we were. So the Edomites, the so-called white men, the red Hebrew Edomites, started telling us who we were when we weren't those people. You know, when we the chosen people, when we the apple of the Most High Eye, when we Yasha'Elah, Israel, when we the princes of power, we the Jews, we the Israel, we the southern and northern kingdom, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right, Jeremiah 17:4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. So we those people. We still serving our enemies in the land which we knew not. So that lets you know that we were the people that discontinued from our heritage. We're the people that Jude is talking about. Jude is not talking about no spookism, no Greek mythology, no sci-fi channel. He's talking about real life shit, Salakia. You know, he's talking about us, who we were in our past lives from the beginning of the foundation. And I'm going to read verse 5, Jeremiah 17:5 with this. It said, thus said Yahweh, cursed be the man that trusted in man, and make it flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from Yahweh. And we see that in the beginning with Adam and Eve. You know, Adam went along with Eve and started trusting in men, and didn't trust in the Most High no more. That was their fruit. He began to trust in men, the men that was in the garden. There wasn't no real snake in no garden. Snake just means a slick person, a cunning person. You know, like a person with smooth speech, like a Farrakhan with slick speech, like a T.D. Jakes with slick speech. You know, that's all that serpent it mean, man. It was a man, which that serpent in the garden was the Canaanites. You know, was Tyre and Zidon. You know, they saying it was the devil, the so-called Satan himself, but it wasn't. It was a man, man. It was a man in the garden that Eve listened to. She brought it back to Adam. Adam didn't put her in check. Adam started to follow along with what Eve said, started trusting in men with Eve, and that's how we got kicked out of paradise, out of Garden of Eden, out of the promised land Israel, and it was left unto who? The Canaanites, Tyre and Zidon, the people the Most High told us not to deal with, not to marry, or none of that, to put all of them to death, and we didn't. That's why we going through what we're going through right now today. All right, let's go to Psalms. Oh no, let's continue reading in Jude. Jude verse 6. In the angels. So I'm just letting you know this is a continuation. I'm gonna start back with 5. Jude 5. I will therefore put you in remembrance, though ye once knew this. Said we used to know it, but now we don't. How that Yahweh have saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterwards destroyed them that believe not. Because you know, you wander in the land, once he delivered us out of Egypt, you know, and when we was in the wilderness, you know, he destroyed the old generation and took the children in with Joshua because they didn't believe not. They even made what? They even made a bull. You know, they even made a god. They took their goals and had Aaron to make them a god. So the Most High destroyed them and didn't let them go into the land, but he let the 3rd and 4th generation go into the land. All right, which was their children. That's why we was in the wilderness for 40 years. All right, and now it's going to go on to a continuation. So let you know this is talking about the same exact people. Verse 6. And the angels which kept not their first state, you know, when it says in the angels which kept not their first state, that means proper domain. That means proper domain when it says they kept not their first state. And if you look that word angel up, that just means the messengers or the judges, which kept not their first domain, mean a proper domain, which means their proper perspective in life, their proper level. as the gods and judges of the world. You know, so we didn't keep the seat that the Most High gave us. We didn't judge the world like he told us to judge the world, to be the leaders of the world. No, we began to be like the people and follow the people. So they became the leaders and we became the followers. That's why the word said that the first must be last and the last must be first. Will be first. So it says, verse 6, Jude 6, and the angels which kept not their first state. That means they didn't continue to keep the law, statute, commandments. And these angels are men. These are men. These are messengers, judges, prophets, gods. That's all this word. This doesn't mean men with feathers that was with wings that was flying in heaven and the Most High cast them down. No, that's talking about the men of Israel. The only angels on earth, righteous angels on earth, are the men of Israel. That was cast down. The other nations are angels too, but they're the angels on the left-hand side. The men of Israel are the angels on the right-hand side. It says, in the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitations. So we left our authority, we left our inheritance, the power that the Most High gave us, and began to deal with the heathens, the other nations, begin to follow their ways and do the things that they was doing. That's how we was cast out of heaven. That means we was cast out of our rulership. Heaven just means rulership for us. The Father is in a totally different heaven. That's the third heavens. That's above the so-called planets. All right, and it says, but left their own, I'm going to read it again, Jude 6. And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitations, he had reserved in everlasting chains under darkness until, he had reserved in everlasting chains under darkness until the judgment of the great day. So the judgment of the great day is what's coming up now, which is Jacob's trouble and the second death, which is the fire from the thermonuclear missiles, World War III. That's the day of a judgment. That's the judgment of the great day right there. So what he mean by, he said he preserved them into everlasting chains under darkness. This body that we in, this flesh, it's that everlasting chain that he put us in. So we're going to be delivered from this into glorified bodies. We won't be in this darkness, this everlasting chains, because we wasn't built to die. You know what I'm saying? But this weak body, because it's not an everlasting, it's not an eternal body. You know, it's a carnal body. It decays and dies. You know, and the everlasting darkness is also, you know, the aches and pains that our body go through. Other people being over us, the slavery that we went through and that we are still going through. That's the everlasting darkness. Another part of everlasting darkness is serving other gods that's been disconnected from our power, Yahweh. That's that everlasting darkness. That's that chain of darkness. That's these bodies that we are in, that the spirits that we have are in. We went from a glorified body to a decayed body. So that's what this everlasting change of darkness is talking about. It's not talking about the Most High cast, you know, the angels that's in heaven with him out of the third heaven unto the earth. No, it's talking about the angels that was on earth, which are the messengers of power. Just look the word up. Them the ones he cast down from rulership, from paradise, down into hell, or down into darkness, or down into the grave, or Hades, which means into a low estate, into slavery, into serving other people, to not having the power that we used to have. The animals used to obey us. The animals don't even obey us no more. All the animals obeyed. They obeyed Noah when he put them in the ark. The animals used to fear us, but they don't have that fear no more because we fell out of our first state. All right, let's go. Matter of fact, let's go to Psalms 82 and 6. Let's just get into this angels, this messenger, this power. Let's let the word tell us who the angels are, or who the gods. Angel just means a god, a little g, gods, power, judges. Let's go to Psalms 82 and 6. Psalms 82 and 6. I have said, ye are gods. Okay, and when you look that word God up in verse 6, that word God means mighty ones or judges. I have said, ye are gods, and all you are children of the Most High God. So all the angels, which are all the children of the Most High God. That's why when you go into Genesis, they call us what? The sons of God. When you go to Genesis 3, when you go to, matter of fact, let me go there right quick. Give me a second. Let me just read this so you can understand what he's saying. When you go to Genesis 3, when he calls us the sons of God, matter of fact, Genesis 4. When he calls us the sons of God, no, that'd be Genesis 6. Just hold on with me. Give me a second. I'm going to get you. Okay, when you read Genesis chapter 6, I'm going to read verse 1 and 2. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and the daughters were born unto them, all right, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair. Okay, that's Genesis 6 and 2. That the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair. Okay, now when the church is telling you that these are the angels that fell from heaven. Now let's go back to let's go back to Psalms 82 and 6, and let's see what this says. I have said, ye are gods. Who he talking to? He's talking to the Israelite men. You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. This is who he was talking to. This is who the Most High Yahweh was talking to. The 12 tribes of Israel. He said, I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. So he said that we are gods and that we the children of the Most High. So when you go back to Genesis chapter 6 and verse 2, says that the sons of men, the sons of God, that means the sons of power, or Israel. See, we weren't called the Israelites then. So that word, the sons of God, right now, today is what? Yashael, which means the princes of power. Or the princes or the sons of God, or the sons of power. That's the same word that he's using right here. He says the sons of God right here. But when you go into the later on, when you get to Jacob, we become the Israelites. He changed our names from the sons of God into what? The Israelites. It's all the same word. So he tells us in Genesis chapter 6 and 2 that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair. And the church tell you that these are the fallen angels. Okay, now when you go to Psalms 82 and 6, I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. Verse 7, but ye shall die like men. This is why we die, because we went off. We weren't meant to die. That's that chains of darkness is dying, tasting death in this flesh. That's that chains of darkness. But ye shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. So we fall in like the other nations. See, the other nations was designed to die, but the Israelite men were never designed to die. We are the gods. When he said, I have said ye are gods, he's only talking to the Israelite men. Damn, that's a big old hawk. He's only talking to the Israelite men. He's not talking to nobody else, just the Israelite men, not the other nations. He's not talking to the Japanese. You know, he's not talking to the Syrians, the Edomites, the Greeks. You know what I'm saying? The Germans, no, the Africans. He's not talking to none of those people, Japhetic people. He's only talking to the Israelites. All right, and matter of fact, and he said we should die like men. Matter of fact, let's go to John. Matter of fact, let's go see what Yahweh Shai said. Because see, the Pharisees ran up on Yahweh Shai with who you ignorantly calls Jesus. His name is really Yahweh Shai, so I don't like using Jesus or Christ. So I use the right name, because the Bible says that there's power in the name. The word of God, the word of the Most High Yahweh said there's only one name under heaven that a man must be delivered by or saved through, which is Yahweh Shai. So I like using the Yahweh Shai because there's power in that name. All right, but we're going to go see what Yahweh Shai said to the Pharisees, because the Pharisees try to jam Yahweh Shai up and say, you seem to make yourself like God. All right, so let's see what Yahweh Shai says to these clowns, which these Pharisees will be your church leaders today. You know, your T.D. Jakes and your Eric Masons and all these clowns. These will be your Pharisees today. So let's go to John 10 and 34. The Gospel of John, chapter 10 and 34. Let's see who the sons of God are. Let's see who the angels that lost their first states are. That's put in the chains of everlasting darkness, which is this flesh. All right, what I say? John what? The Gospel of John, chapter 10, verse 34. And it says, 34, Yahushua answered them. Okay, hold on. Matter of fact, let me start up a little bit. Let's get the little concept of what's going on with this John. All right, let me start at the Gospel of John 10, verse 31. Then the Jews took up stones to stone him. So they about to stone Yahushua, because they said he making himself equal with the Father. Verse 32. Yahushua answered them, many good works have I showed. This is in red. Many good works have I showed you from my Father. For which of those works do ye stone me? Verse 33. The Jews answered him, saying, for a good work we stone thee not, but for blasphemy, and because that thou, being a man, makest thyself God. So they saying that they're going to stone Yahushua because he said he was a God. All right, listen to verse 34, what Yahushua do to these clowns. Verse 34, John 10, 34. Yahushua answered them, is it not written in your law? That means in the word that we just read in the Torah. Is it not written in your law? I said, ye are gods. Or that word is ye are angels. Or ye are Elohim, Adahayim, which means powers, you know, messengers, angels. That's what that word means. And it says, isn't it written, this is verse 34, isn't it written in your law? I said, ye are gods. Verse 35, if he, Yahweh, called them gods, unto whom the word of Yahweh came, and the scripture cannot be broken. So he said that the Most High called us gods, and the scriptures cannot be broken. So what work are you stoning me for? Verse 37, hold on. Verse 36, say ye, it says, verse 35, my bad. If he called them gods, unto whom the word of Yahweh came, and the scripture cannot be broken. Verse 36, say ye of him, whom the Father hath sanctified, and sent into the world, thou blasphemy. Because I said, I am the Son of God. That's what we just read in Genesis, Genesis 6